Hello, Riverside. Welcome back to another exciting year here at Riverside Middle School. We hope you had a great summer and are ready to learn this year. With the new school year comes some new things. One of the new things is PBIS. With PBIS, we are changing the discipline system here at Riverside Middle School. One of the things you're going to notice is we're going to use referrals more often, and we are going to get rid of blue slips. So it's kind of the end of blue slips, and we are going to have different types of referrals, majors and minors. Now, because we're ending blue slips, that doesn't mean we won't have detentions. There's still going to be consequences when you make bad decisions, but we're going to try to focus on teaching behaviors rather than focusing on just the blue slip. So blue slips will be gone. You still can have detentions. It's just going to be a different way of doing things. The first different way of doing things is going to be using minor referrals. Now, in the past, when you received a blue slip, it might be for a minor referral this year. They're going to be minor infractions, which are teacher-managed infractions. It's not going to really deal with the office as much as just you and your teacher and your parents. Examples of minor referrals or minor infractions would be tardy to class, disrespect, dishonesty in the class to a minor degree, disruption of the class, technology violations like your cell phone or other technology items, inappropriate language to an extent, minor defiance or subordination, minor noncompliance, and other type of things. Here's an example, Riverside, of how this will work. Let's say we're in class and Johnny is disrupting the class by talking out of turn. The teacher has explained to them that they need to raise their hand and answer the question. Well, Johnny just starts blurting out or is talking to others when the teacher doesn't want him to. So that would be disrupting the class. The first time this happens, the teacher will probably pull Johnny aside and say, all right, Johnny, here's the deal. Today you were disrupting the class by doing this. What I need you to do, Johnny, is to not do that. And why don't we talk about it a little bit? And you have a small conversation with that teacher. So then maybe a week or so goes by, and the teacher would fill out a minor referral form on Johnny for disruption of the class, and which will help the PBIS team because we need to have data on when disruptions are happening or when tardies are happening or any other minor issue. And then we can create lessons around those times and those issues. So it's a great way to track it. With the blue slips, we weren't able to track data, and these minor referrals will allow us to track data and help our school improve. So once again, Johnny had one minor referral for disruption of the class. The second time Johnny disrupts the class, the teacher will pull him aside and contact his parents and have a small conversation with his parents saying, we're having an issue with Johnny. This is the second time I've had to fill out a minor referral for Johnny disrupting the class. And take that time and just discuss it with the parents and with the student. And hopefully this will stop Johnny's disruption. But let's say in another week or two or maybe even a day, whatever it is, Johnny comes into class and he's not raising his hand. He's disrupting the class. This will result in a third disruption, a minor referral. So Johnny has received 3 minor referrals for disruption of the class. Now, if he got another minor referral for being tardy, that's a different category. We're only worried about disruption right now because this is the third time. On the third time, the teacher pulls Johnny aside again and will say to Johnny, Johnny, this is the third time you've had this issue. You can't disrupt the class. So Johnny, why don't you stay after class and we're going to work on how you raise your hand. And the teacher will actually spend some time with Johnny. Maybe it's during even class if the other kids are working on something, and we're going to practice raising our hand and how that looks. So the teacher would ask a question, Johnny maybe raises his hand and answers it, or doesn't raise his hand and doesn't answer the question because that's what the expectation level is. After the third minor referral for a certain category, it is now going to become a major referral. So if Johnny walks in a day or two and is once again disrupting the class, it has now turned into an office managed issue. The teacher has contacted parents, retaught the lesson several times, and now it's up to the office to possibly add additional consequences, which might be a detention. This might be where that comes into play. It might be something else. It might be just another lesson. It's totally up to the office at that point. So now the teacher would be moving on to a major referral. Major referrals can include many different things. And they are an office managed type thing. Over 10 tardies. All right, so if you've been class tardy that many times, it is now coming to the office. If you are forging something or stealing something or cheating on something a second time, the first time we're going to have a minor referral for that. But if that happens a second time, that is definitely now hit the major referral category. Bullying and harassment, those are just things that cannot happen, and those are major referrals. Truancy and skipping class, that's not tardy anymore. You're not 1 minute late to class. You are legitimately skipping class. That is now a major referral. Chronic talking disruption. You've done this more than 3 times. We've talked to your parents, and you're at the point of, we need some other assistance. Common area violations. When you're in common areas throughout the school, there are teachers who don't know who you are, and it might just become a major referral. Now, if I see you in the hallway and I know you, and let's say you're doing something that's probably a minor referral, I'll talk to you and reteach you and talk to your parents and do all those 3 steps to get you 3 minors, which then could turn into a major. But there are a lot of teachers that don't know students in certain areas, so that might just turn right into a major referral because they don't have the opportunity to reteach you and or deal with that small issue in a common area where there's a lot of kids. Other major referrals: drugs, weapons, and alcohol. If you're fighting or have some major physical aggression towards another student or really any person in the building, that's a major referral. Major defiance, disrespect, and insubordination is a major referral. Now, an example of a minor might be, so a teacher comes up to you and says, Johnny, could you please get to work? And you're like, no, I'm not doing that. And after taking a minute or two to kind of collect yourself, you end up going through it. The teacher can write out a minor referral for that. That's just disrespect or insubordination, however you want to categorize that. But if a teacher comes up to you and says, hey, it's time to get to work, why don't you guys get to work? And you start just yelling or absolutely no way I'm going to do what you want me to do, that might be to the point where that's major insubordination. Another good example of a minor would be if you have your cell phone out and the teacher says, all right, I'm going to take that cell phone, you can't have it out. That's just a minor, and the cell phone ends up in the office. But it might turn into a major when you now tell the teacher, there's no way I'm giving you that cell phone, and you now become majorly insubordinate. Just give the teacher the cell phone and you'll be good to go. Abusive language and profanity. I think there's some language in the school that is minor, and that's going to be to a teacher's discretion. I'm not going to use those words here on this video. But then there's other ones that are definitely more abusive that I think hopefully you know what those words are and you can't use those in a school setting. Technology violations can easily turn into major referrals. Probably the first 2 or 3 times. Once again, it's going to be a minor, but then it can move on to that major. Vandalism, property damage. If you destroy something in school, you're going to have to pay for it, and it's also going to be a major referral for that. We can't have that in school. Inappropriate location, out of bounds area. If you are somewhere where you are not supposed to be hanging out, that could be a major referral. And then we always have to put an other on there, because without an other, there's always something that falls into a different category that we aren't prepared for. If you have any questions about this, the referrals and the ending of the blue slips and what is a minor, what is a major, there's going to be T-charts around the school that you can kind of look and see, oh, this is a minor, this is dealt with, teachers are dealing with, and this is a major, this is something that the office is dealing with. Overall, if you have any questions, talk to your teachers. They can hopefully help you out. If you're a teacher and you have some questions, go see the office. Explain your situation, and we can figure it out whether it's a minor or a major issue that needs to be dealt with. Finally, why are we doing this? It's because we want improved behavior for all students. We have great students here, and we just want to keep on improving our behavior, and PBIS and our data system is one way to do that. So Riverside, let's have a great school year. Let's not have any referrals if at all possible. Have a great year. Good luck.